Hello, hi, this is Rani Ahmed with you, and this is lesson 15 in how to program TCL on Cisco routers. And in this lesson I'm going to talk about a new variable type named lists. Now, what is a list? A list is a set of words, and to type a list or define a list we use this form. So there's one form and there's another form, as you see here. Okay, so the first form is using the a command named list. Okay, and you can define, for example, here I'm making a list of IPs. So this is the first element, second element, okay, third, fourth, and fifth. Okay, so every one here, so if I highlighted the 168 here, so everywhere you see 168 where there is a word, okay, of an IP, and there is an element of a list. Okay, so okay, so the other way is using the curly braces. So anything between curly braces, even anywhere in the code, wherever you go in the code, does not have to be a list variable. You can consider that a list. Okay, so for example, if you were talking about a for loop, any part of the for loop is called a list. Even the body of the if statement is called also a list. So you have to deal with everything as if it is a list of words. Okay, so we see here a bunch of commands that are related to lists. Okay, so what I'm going to do is run this script, okay, to tell you how every command works. Okay, and I print also with it the code of the command. So I start with writing the command, okay, to you, and then executing the command. Cool. So there's okay, and some what do you call it, some comments on the command, so to know where we are. Okay, so let's start. The code has been already uploaded to the router, so enable and ECL sh disk 0 lesson 15 dash list.tcl. okay, and I print. So if I want to talk about the list of IP list 1, okay, so this is the length of IP list 1. okay, I use the command double L, length double L. okay, and start with double L. So everything that starts with an L with those commands is related to lists. Okay, so we'll see lindex, length, double L starts with double L, L replace, L range, all those are related to lists. Okay, so let me just fix the view here so you can see what I'm talking about. So here we are talking about a length to get the list of IP list 1. okay, now let's just because I want to prove to you that this kind of list, the list 1, is the same as list 2. okay, so I'm printing the same length. okay, so this is again. Now, by the way, just to tell you, if you want to make a pause in the video, in the script, okay, you can just simply put get stdin for and any variable. It does not have to be called anything. What I just called anything, so it will read anything. okay, even the enter key will be considered as a new line character. okay, so it will be like a pause. okay, so so this is also the length of IP list 2, okay, which is the same. Now if I want to get the first IP or the first element in a list, okay, whatever, it does not have to be IPs, you can deal with any word. okay, so but I'm talking about IPs and Cisco stuff, you know. So in the list IP list one is we use the command lindex, and we give it the variable which is the list variable, or the variable of type list, which is $IP list one, okay, and we give it the index of 0. The reference is the index in the list, and to get the first element you use 0, to get the second element you use 1, and so on, okay, and to get the third element you use number 2, okay. So the counting or the indexing, okay, or the referencing of the elements, okay, in the list, the first one starts with number 0. So the first one is the 192.168.1.1. So if we look back at the list here, so this is the first element, and we used, of course, here index 0. See, it's index 0. Now this is, if we want to get the last item, we don't have to count them, okay, and to just check whether it's the last, we can use a special index named end, okay. So if we use end, okay, it will be used as the farthest and the last element in the list, okay. So this is the last one, and if we look back at the list, so we get, this is the last one, okay. So the same thing for IP list 2, okay. Now if I want to put it's not in position 6 anyway, but if I want to put something in position 2, okay, which is the third element, okay, or the index number 2, which is the third element. So I want to add this IP, okay, and put it inside the list at the third element, okay. So if we look here, this is, we have here as 5, this is the old list, okay. Now if you look here, this is the new list, and see, this is at the third. So the first one here, this is the first, second, third, okay. Now I want to put it in the third place, so it will shift the third to make it as fourth, okay, and the third will take the position of the previous third, okay. So this is how it goes. So 1, 2, and 3, okay. Now, and by the way, what I'm doing here, if we look back at the code, okay, what I'm doing here is just printing out. This does not change the contents of the list, okay. So you'll have to do something like set this to a variable, similar to what I'm doing down below here. See, like what I'm doing here. Cool. Now let's move to the next example. Now I want to put it to the previous to the last, okay. So what I use is the index end, but I can use a negative number here, okay, with it. So as if I'm adding to end, okay, or subtracting from the last index, which is the length minus 1, okay. If you want to use a length to calculate it, okay, it will be length minus 1, okay, and you add here minus 1 to get the previous one, because we are depending on the index, not on the length, okay. So you'll get the previous to last, okay. So if I want to add it at the previous to last, so if I have here, see, this is my old list with 5 elements, okay. Now this is it at previous to last, see, because this is the last one, so it goes to previous to last. Now move to the next one. and I told you how to set a new variable, okay, whenever there is a change. So I want to grab, okay, the range of IPs in list 1 from the second position till the previous position to last. Okay, so second position here, I'm not talking about the index, I'm talking here about the true position. Okay, so I use the command arrange, I use the variable IP list, and I use the second one, which is index number 1. Okay, and I say from the second previous to last. That's why I say -2, end -2. So this will give me, okay, everything from 2 till the last, which is the 5th, and go by it also backwards by 2. So this is gives you the second and the third element in the list. Okay, so index 1 and index 2. So that's why I get 2 elements here only. Okay, so it just gives you the range of elements as such. Okay, now go to the next one. Okay, now I want to replace a range of IPs in the in IP list 1 from the second position till the second previous to last. Okay, so and I want to replace them with nothing. Okay, so this is what happens. Now this means when I put them like this, those are escape values. Okay, so it means there is nothing here, just an empty spacing. This is the empty spacing, okay, or an empty list. So so this is the old list, okay, and I'm only printing the list. I'm not, see, I'm just printing. I don't update the IP list 1. Okay, otherwise I will have to set IP list 1 as this. Okay, use the command set on IP list 1 as this, so you get an updated IP list 1. Okay, so I want to keep the older list and always show you what will happen if I deleted the list or deleted something from the list. So I use a replace. Now you can replace anything here. You can just insert any word you want here, okay, or you can insert any other list here. Okay, but I'm just going also to give you the method to delete. So replace does not only just replace text, okay, or strings in the list. Also it deletes. So this is the updated one. So from the second position, okay, so this is the second position. Now second previous to last, so it will be, let's say, here's the previous to last, okay, so here's the last one, so previous to last by 2 is this one, okay, so it will delete only this. Okay, so that's why you get this is left and this is left. Okay, now I go down to the next one. So if I want to delete the last IP in the list, okay, I use this command, I'll replace IP list end, okay, and see here it's marking up that this has been replaced with an empty list. Okay, but if I want to really delete it, I don't want to show any empty list here, I just don't mention those. Okay, so I get this, see, it's the same one. I say end, I don't mention anything behind it, okay, or after it, okay, and see, I don't see anything here. Okay, this backspace, this white space or black space here, I don't see anything. Cool. So this is all. This is the commands, and just quickly to read them. Okay, say I always don't update list 1. Okay, so I just echo or print out or puts the value of the replacement or the range or the list length. So that's all about lists. Okay, next time we will see how to use lists in for loop and search inside the list. Okay, thanks for watching.